Pain is part of the journey. Now look, man, had a little setback, right? But I'm back on the trail, I'm back moving, right? You know, pain is a part of the process of getting old. And man, I want to thank everybody that reached out on this channel, everybody that left their experiences and comments and everything, talking about getting old and pains and all that stuff, man, because it's been very helpful. It's been very helpful to know your experiences and that I'm not alone in this, and it's a part of getting old. And the body is an amazing thing. The body and its ability to heal. I had just a few days ago this right shoulder. I mean, I could barely move. Was in pain just trying to pull a blanket over me when I was sleeping. I couldn't even reach back and do that. And then with a little heat and a little cold and a little rest and maybe a little anti-inflammatory over-the-counter supplementation, and now I'm back. Now I'm back out striving and trying again. But man, there's always going to be pain. There's always going to be something holding you back. Now, I just left the premiere of one of my morning videos. And we're talking about how far I can take this channel, how far a guy with an iPhone. Right now, I've got my tripod in my hands. I'm going to try to tighten up the view here. But man, here's the deal, man. How far can we take it? One of my guys that's in the videos premieres every day, JC, shout out to him. And he said, man, a lot of people wait around waiting for the motivation to come. Or if you're waiting around for motivation to come, you're going to be waiting around every day. When you get that instant spark, like today, I said, man, I've got to get out here and I got to do this. When you get that spark, you got to take advantage of it. You got to get out. You got to get out and hustle. If you hesitate, if you wait and say, but Scooby-Doo just came on, dude. I'll go after Scooby-Doo. Well, guess what? Scooby-Doo comes on. You watch that. Then, I'm a little hungry. Oh, well, I'll have a bite to eat. And then pretty soon that motivation is gone. It's gone. And man, a lot of the things that us creative types did back in the day, thinking that was going to propel our creativity, a lot of times it just kept us melting into the couch, right? So that's another thing to realize, man. When you get that spark, when you get that moment where you're like, man, I'm going to go do this. Go do it immediately. If you hesitate, if you falter, you will not do it. So I'm telling you now, if you're feeling motivated to get up after you watch this video, if you're feeling motivated right now, I don't care if you pause the video and go and do something. Come back to it. Watch this video whenever you want to feel motivated. A few days ago, I could barely move the right side of my body. And here I am back out here. I'm planning on doing a long walk today. It's been a while since I've been out here doing this. My body needed it. My body craved it. Look, man, I've always tried to have balance. Yes, I used to live a wild life, and everybody that saw me saw the guy that was in the club, playing on stage, acting wild and all that. But they didn't know the amount of solitude and getting up each morning and exercising and doing all that stuff that I used to do. So all they ever saw was that wild guy who was basically like a caged animal, that as soon as he was in an environment with people, well, maybe that was just my mechanism of coping, right? Because in all reality, I grew up an only child. I didn't have a lot of supervision. Back in our days, it was latchkey kids. I was a sort of a latchkey kid. Oh, he's upstairs. God knows what he's doing, but he's up there by himself. And so for me, being alone has never been a problem. It's never been something that I was fearful of, because, hey, I always knew I had something to do. I could come up with something. I could motivate myself to do something. I never have to have somebody tell me to do something twice. If there's something that needs to be done, I just do it. Doesn't matter if it's a task that I absolutely loathe. And that may be one trait that I excel at. I'm not afraid to work. I'm not afraid to get down and dirty and do physical work or any of that stuff, man. But like I was saying, man, if you feel that motivation, if you're feeling like you're not getting shit done and you're dragging, but the minute you get that spark, hit the ground running, dude. I like the fact that now, for those who don't know my channel, I'm an old guy and I've got a 4-year-old daughter. One thing I've noticed is she's like me. When she gets up in the morning, I say, come on, let's get up. It's time to get ready for school. She pretty much hops out of bed and hits the ground running. And that's the way I am, man. I will get, hey, time to get up, and I go slide out, and it's right to work. And that's, I think that's a motivation. If you're one of those slow risers, have to lay there. The longer you lay there, the longer you toss and kind of contemplate what you're going to do and all that, man, the less chances you're going to get up and really get things done. If you think about being in the military, where do they play the revelry in the morning? Everybody's got to get up immediately make your bed, have your clothes all laid out, everything, stand at attention, all of that. Well, there's a reason why they do that. Because that discipline, that motivation of getting up and getting into action, that produces results. So think about that, man. When you're contemplating how you start your day, think about starting it with absolute vision of moving forward, vision of going forth and getting shit done. And that's probably something that not everybody does, man. A lot of people might, I gotta have my coffee first. I have my bagel and I'll have this and all that. Oh man, I used to shock people. People would see me when I lived in Antioch. And there's a video up on my Patreon page. A free video if you join the Patreon. It's a gig from 2001. And I'm on stage and they're calling me the middle finger of the band, and I'm on stage, drinking beer and being a wild guy. But nobody saw, except for the people that would happen to be driving by my neighborhood the next morning, would see the fact that I got up and went for a jog first thing in the morning. And so all they saw was that wild dude, right? But what they didn't see is that other side. You can't just be one thing. You can't just be a wild partying lunatic and expect to be around for a long time. You can be around for a good time, but you're not going to be around for a long time. You've got to have balance. You've got to have the yin and the yang, right? And so if you're going to be that party guy, man, make sure you get up in the morning and you sweat that poison out. Sweat that poison out. Now, I don't do any of that nonsense anymore. I don't live that lifestyle. So now I'm battling against Father Time. I'm battling against my own mortality. I want to be around a long time for my family. I've got so much more I want to accomplish, and God willing, I will be able to do it. God willing, I'll finally make a name for myself, not as a guitar player, but somebody that came on YouTube and started a guitar channel that really wasn't about guitar, that was really about life. It's really about figuring out life and why we're here and how we stay motivated and how we get better, become better as people. That's what this channel is. And this is it's like a winter morning in Florida. We're in September. And who knows when this video will go out? Who knows when this video will go out to everybody? Cars blow by, trucks blow by, life blows by. And man, this is the most important thing I'll ever do. Not playing on, I did a really, really interesting interview the other day, and it's going to go up on my channel soon. And it all started with somebody reaching out on social media and saying, hey, were you playing guitar with Cole Ford at the Boots and Hearts Festival in Ottawa 2013? And I, first of all, had to think, what did I do? Did I get in a fight with somebody? Did I tick somebody off? Did I beam this guy with a guitar pick while I was on stage? And then I thought, let me look this up. Here's the deal, dude. It was such a whirlwind. I was living every rock star dream that I thought I had. I was not taking care of myself because I was in a whirlwind fight for my life and a last desperate gasp at fame. I was able to go on YouTube and find video of that show. Lo and behold, there I am with a black beard on stage. This huge festival. Ended up figuring out there were like 30,000 plus people there. 30,000 plus people. I was like 47 years old. Probably the oldest guy in the whole festival on stage. Probably the oldest guy there. Maybe a few guys in the audience might have been my age. I was from a different decade. I was from a different world. And opportunity and life had placed me in that moment. Comes to find out, that guy, the guy who reached out, he took photos of that day. And he sent me photos from that day. And it made all those memories come flooding back. Now, I'm not going to spoil it by getting into it all, because we get into all of it in a 2-part interview. It's going to go up. It'll go up to the rockstar members of the channel first. But man, the old song, every picture tells a story. Persistence, pain, that's just part of every day. And I certainly felt the pain at 47, trying to get on stage, climb up onto those big stages. And I was not in great shape, but I still had my voice. I still had my chops to go out there and try and live the dream, right? Go out there and live the dream. It's like a quarterback who's retired or, and gets a last minute call. This team's in the playoffs, but they need an emergency quarterback. And could you just come and play a little bit? Come on, help us out. We got a shot to do something. That's what it really felt like. I mean, dude, it's been a life, man. It's been a life on this end. And I think the realization of all the crazy stuff that I've done, man, from the Sunset Strip to Nashville to touring and recording and playing in bars and at every level, playing in great bands, playing in terrible bands. All of these things, man, even rapping. Dude, I had a degree in jazz fusion guitar from GIT. And what do I get a record deal for doing? Rapping. That's my friends, that's a story. This is a story arc that I don't think anybody can match. Yes, there are people that had way more success. And I get people all the time, in the comments, they say, I've never heard of any of the bands you've been in. And my common thing is, or I've never heard of you. I've never heard of you either. What difference does it friggin' make? Just because you haven't heard of somebody, does that mean their whole life is null and void? Does that mean that all of life is for naught because you've never heard of them? Because they didn't make it to the status of being on the cover of the National Enquirer or dating some Hollywood celeb so that their name gets on people's tongues? Or, your band getting signed and being big enough that people would remember you? Because look, man, there were hundreds and hundreds of bands that did get signed on the Sunset Strip. Probably at least 100 bands out of that scene might have had some kind of deal, whether it was a Japanese deal or a European deal or American deal or whatever. And most of those people nobody's heard of either. So whether you've heard of somebody or you know somebody or you're familiar with their work or any of that, none of that matters. None of that matters in the world that we live in now. It's all just BS. All right, now I'm going to take this. I'm going to push myself today. I'm going to go on a longer walk. Because, man, I don't every day doing this channel. I don't always get to do stuff like this, man. I'm taking care of my daughter. I'm doing all these things, right? And I've got to start taking my health and making that a priority. So instead of sitting in a stool right now and working on a demo of the MXR Randy Rhoads Distortion Plus, opted to just come out here, roll camera, and talk. Because that's what balance is all about. That's what taking your motivation and pushing yourself and making yourself better. You know, that's gonna give me more longevity. Getting cardio in, walking, having lung power. You know, here's the thing, man. For anybody that's still out there doing it or whatever, there's nothing better for a singing voice than air, to be able to increase your airflow. Walking, getting cardio in, jogging, anything like that is going to expand your lungs, which is going to give you more power. So getting out here and doing this, and man, there's a certain point when you get out here and you put in this work where you're just existing, right? I'm out here and I'm feeling a certain way. It's all, dude, you could say there's a runner's high. When you're my age, could be a walker's high. Maybe I'm on a walker's high right now, because I don't want this moment to end. I don't want to stop, right? Once you get motivated in life, once you figure out, hey man, I got this instant idea to do this thing, and whether it's writing a song or picking up your guitar or learning a lick or whatever, if you grab that moment in time, if you grab that moment right then, don't hesitate. Get it done. Do it. If you grab that moment, then you'll actually achieve something. And once you start achieving something and working towards your goals, it's addicting, man. It's very, very addicting. And man, getting up each day and exercising or walking or whatever, man, there were many, many years where I was like, I have to go do this. It doesn't matter that I raged last night. It doesn't matter that I played some crazy gig and, and hung out with crazy people. Now it's morning and it's time to clear the head and move forward. Because all that stuff, all that rock star nonsense, that's just a big fucking diversion. It's just a big diversion, man. You get sucked up into that nonsense and end up with jack shit. And I don't want any of you out there that watch this channel to follow my lead. I want you to follow your own lead. I want you to make your own best informed decisions and be successful, man. I want everybody that watches this channel to be successful. Because the reality is, man, if you're not, then I've failed, right? If you're listening to me and not feeling motivated right now, and not feeling a certain way that what I'm doing is helping you, you could see, man, I was literally immobile. It's literally immobile about 3-4 days ago. I'm out here doing this. I couldn't even pull a friggin' blanket over my body to keep myself warm at night. I couldn't even lay on my right side. And now I'm out here doing this. I don't recommend anybody follow my lead. Everybody has their own choice to make. What is right for them? Look, man, nothing gets done if you don't take that spark. If you don't take that spark of motivation that we all get it from time to time. If you've been numbing yourself with substances and alcohol, you might have dulled it so much that you don't even recognize when it happens. But trust me, it's there. If you clear your head, you think, man, sometimes we got to slap ourselves in the face, boom, and go, why am I here? What did I want to do with my life? Life can distract you. Life can take you away from everything that you wanted to do. We get sucked into the day-to-day grind, forgetting who we are, forgetting what our place on this earth. And man, I've been there. You get comfortable. You get used to, you get used to just surviving, just existing. You get used to the existence. But that, my friends, that is, that's selling yourself short. That's selling yourself short. You're not achieving your goals when you sell yourself short. Look, man, there's no more motivation than these guys out here busting their you-know-whats to build these houses. Think about that. If you're laying about feeling sorry for yourself, and you don't want to clean up your house today because you're not feeling motivated, those guys don't have another choice. They're up, they're doing it, they're hustling, they're struggling, right? You can too. You can be that motivated. But you got to start. You got to press play on the cassette deck of life. Look, man, some of you guys, people go to the gym and they got their workout mix. And if music is the thing, look, if you're trying to get a little exercise each day, put on an album. Put on a 30-minute album and walk around your apartment if that's all you can do. If that's all you can do that. Just get moving. And if your motivation is to write music, then what the hell are you waiting for? Do it, because guess what? If you don't do it, if you don't write your own music, some idiot in a basement is going on Sunu or Nunu or Blue or whatever, one of these apps, and they're prompting a song, and it's being written just like that. So man, there is not time to waste. Life is moving fast. We have to move faster. Technology is moving at a breakneck speed, and we have to move faster. If you've got something you want to do it. Be proud of what you're doing, right? Work hard, bust your ass. Get motivated, get to work, get cracking. Get off your ass, dude. Get moving. It's never more important than right now. There is nothing more important than hustling right now, dude. Look, I'm out here walking now. It's been 29 minutes, dude. And it's probably, when I get back, I've only walked about 2.5 miles. That's not exactly a 4-minute mile. I'm not able to run or jog anymore. And it's best that I move at a clip like this. But I tell you what, man, my wife and my daughter, they cannot keep up with me when I walk. And I cannot walk slow. If I walk slow, then I run the risk of getting tired or falling or whatever. I've got one speed and it's full steam ahead, and we must We must all be like that. And it's not just getting up and walking, but full steam ahead and getting your life where you want it to be. Don't be afraid of change. Don't be afraid to take a new path. Don't be afraid of oh, it's going to be rainy today. Yeah, it could rain right now, and I could finish this walk in the rain. Camera, phone in the pocket, selfie stick in hand. And that's just the way it's going to be. But am I worried about that? Not worried about it at all. I'm glad that I'm able to do this now. I'm glad that I'm able to have this channel, and there are people that they love the walk and talks. And that's great, man. You know, I've got interviews, I do product demos, I do walk and talks, motivational speaking, all of these things, because playing guitar and playing music is not just, dude, check out this sweet lick. Look at the picking technique of this uber rich rock star who's dead. I mean, I guess it's interesting if you're interested in that. Man, life is a lot more complicated than that. A lot of us have a lot more to worry about than how somebody held a pick. A lot of us have our own techniques of how we hold the pick, and that's what makes you unique. Copying somebody else's licks, copying somebody else's tricks, playing with somebody else's sticks, that's not you, man. You can become you as a player. You can find your individuality by copying many different people. And there's people that's all they ever did was learn one style of music, 80s rock, and they know a handful of Lynch licks, and they know a handful of Eddie Van Halen licks, and that's it. Time has largely left that whole genre behind. Yes, there's still guys like us, our age, that are fans of it and love to hear it. Man, I don't know how many. It's a handful of young kids out there listening to that stuff, but dude, there's so much more to music. You know, there's so much more to life than just one thing. And I urge everybody to embrace the vastness of life, to embrace the challenge that you face each day, keeping that motivation, right? As we continue on this path, and I know this is the longest walk and talk I've ever done. Glad for that. Maybe the next one I'll do will be an hour. Maybe we'll do an hour-long walk and talk. Because, man, I really start to get in the zone the longer I go on this path. The longer I travel on this path, the more in the zone I get. And it's going to be the same thing for you when you finally realize that little spark that I got this morning. That's that guy calling, hey, man, come on, dude, come over here and get in the zone. Come over here, man. Hey, remember that thing you wanted to do? It's over here, dude. And today is the day to do it. Today is the day. There's no better time than right now. There's no better time. What are you waiting for? Hit the ground running. Change. Nothing stays the same. Motivated by guys like Diamond Dave. Look at David Lee Roth, right? Grew up, his dad was an eye surgeon, right? He had money. He already lived in a mansion. Something motivating that guy to be better than everybody else, and grab a moment and rule the world, even if it was for just 5 years or 6 years, 7 years, 78 to 84, 6 years. Yeah, he did a lot of stuff after that. But man, that is a hell of an accomplishment, man. That is a hell of a thing, man. To still, despite the fact that you didn't have to work that hard, that you didn't have to try that hard, that you still did anyway. So for all you guys that I get every now and then in the comments, I'll get a guy who says, well, thank God for my day job. I'm at home now and I got a pension. Well, that's great, man. That's great. But you still gotta have a reason to wake up every day, dude. You still gotta have a reason to continue the hustle. You still gotta stay motivated. You still got dreams, bro. And maybe you suppress those dreams working that day job. Maybe now's the time to get off your ass, dude. Maybe now's the time to start really living. Now's the time to get it done. Now's the time to figure out who the fuck you are, dude. And get motivated and start living your dream. Not somebody else's dream, not some corporate fantasy, not some pension grabbing, thing that you busted your ass and tore your body up and all of these things so that you could get that golden check each month. And hey, man, I'm not knocking that at all. That's a great thing. You guys were smart, dude. You guys were smart. Man, I want you guys to still be motivated. Because life ain't over yet, dude. It's not about just sitting around doing nothing once you get a golden check. Because David Lee Roth could have got a golden check from Dad each month. He's one of the most motivated performers that ever was. So, man, no matter who you are or where you are in life, continue the grind.